Well, tonight, the saga surrounding Senator Johnson Sakaja's university degree is deepening on a day when the senator presented himself at the DCI headquarters for questioning. The Commission for University Education has now summoned the senator to offer more information on his university credentials. That is on Monday. The IBC Disputes Resolutions Committee is yet to determine Sakaja's fate, even though the senator has since moved to the High Court to set aside a letter revoking the recognition of his degree. The senator, in fact, has called the press for a press briefing right this hour, and he's speaking. Let's cross over live and listen in.
We qualify to run for the office of Governor of Nairobi County. And I'm glad that Professor Chacha, Nyagoti Chacha, I think you know him. He has been, I think, CEO of HELB back in the 90s. He has been the secretary to the elections board of ODM from 2013 to 2017. He is currently leading the Azimio campaigns in Migori, assisted by PS Marwa. I think he's a public figure that you know. But in his statement, which you all have, he has confirmed very clearly that indeed I qualify, because he has said that I met the requirements of the law. On the 6th of June, as he has admitted, I went to present my credentials to the CUE. I presented to them part of what he's asking for. I presented my degree certificate. I presented my transcripts. They then contacted, as per convention and as per our laws, they contacted the National Council for Higher Education, the counterpart council in Uganda, who then contacted the issuing university to confirm the validity of those documents. The university responded and said, yes, this has been our student, and he graduated, and they gave the date. The National Council, and these are documents that I presented, I think I've put them out on social media, wrote back and said two things. Number one, that the university is accredited in Uganda and by convention in Kenya. And number two, that they confirm then the validity of the document as affirmed by the issuing university. So by his own admission, I have met the requirements of the law. Those are the requirements that are there in the IBC regulations that all the candidates who are running for office are supposed to fulfill. And I want to thank Professor Chacha, Nyagoti Chacha, for making that confirmation publicly. I sympathize and understand the pressure he is in. This is the first time in the history of our country that the CUE is issuing a press conference on an individual's certification since the CUE was established in its previous iteration. And I'm grateful that he's done that. I understand. And we sympathize and we also pray. We pray for him. Of course, due to the pressure that he has, he then proceeded to revoke, or to purport actually, he purported to revoke the certification or the recognition. We have a State Corporations Act, we have a Universities Act, we have a law that says very clearly who is supposed to communicate on behalf of the Commission for University Education, and that is the Commission Secretary, who is the CEO, Professor Mwenda Ntaragwi. We also know that before the chair communicates any decision of the CUE, there must be a meeting of the commission, which never happened. Even today, and I wish you'd have asked where are the other commissioners. There's a quorum of 5. That did not take place. But we understand the pressure that he's in. Now, the chairman has now issued a list of requirements, which, of course, on the 6th, I was very ready. If they asked me to provide, I was very ready to provide. The question that we're asking is, in this country, are you guilty and then proven innocent, or are you innocent until you're proven guilty? You cannot revoke and then investigate. You investigate, and then, if you need to, you revoke. When I was there for the whole day, because I was there the entire day on the 6th, I think it was a Monday, none of those questions was asked of me. But today, there are requirements being asked of me, which I'm very ready to, to look at and to provide what the law requires, that have not been asked for any other candidate. Can the CUE as well ask each and every other candidate who has gotten certification to provide the same? There is no set of law for Sakaja and another set of law for the rest of Kenyans. It is manifestly unfair, and I think you can all see the game that is being played. There cannot be two sets of rules in this country. If you demand that of me, demand that from all the other Kenyans who have presented themselves for certification before yourself. I was ready to present whatever they require on the 6th, but by convention and by law, because you must say which law are you basing it on. The requirement is to ask their counterpart institution whether this institution is recognized, and then 2, whether that document, the degree certificate I presented, because I've seen people saying just present yourself. I presented the certificate, I presented transcripts, I have the graduation booklet. In fact, it is certified by the issuing university. I have all of those. Anything else that would have been required is by convention or by law or by regulations. So I think what we are seeing really from Professor Chacha, who has not told us where the rest of the commissioners are and why the CEO has refused to cave in to this pressure, was what we're seeing definitely is what we spoke about. We are ready to abide by the law. In fact, the matter is before the court. It is actually sub judice for him to then hurriedly call for a press conference at 7 p.m. on a Friday, after there's been all of those things going around in the media, and I think he knows the real genesis and nexus of this matter. I want to assure the people of Nairobi, and I want to assure those who are giving Professor Chacha, who I really sympathize with, all this pressure. I want to assure them that the governor of Nairobi will be elected by the people of Nairobi. The people of Nairobi have rejected projects. The people of Nairobi have rejected to be forced upon a candidate. Today earlier I was at the DCI because I saw the headline on the Nation newspaper, a newspaper that is respected in this country. They have run headlines for the last 3-4 days. Even basic journalistic ethics and principles, and you all know, you cannot do a story without looking for a comment from the subject matter of that story. No one has ever asked me for any comment. None of those journalists asked me what is my opinion, but they keep doing those stories. And in that story today, the DCI is reported, and he has not, challenged. And we know the DCI is very quick to challenge when something is wrong, that he has been falsely quoted. And he said that we cannot surrender our city, as he's referring to me, that we cannot surrender our city to fraudsters.